Hey everyone, welcome to a stream. Just wanted to start doing my YouTube channel again. It's been about 5 months since I last did a YouTube video, so I thought I'd just do a live, talk about the week, talk about some of the things that I'm thinking about, and just see how it goes. So, yeah, let's just jump into it. I've done a few slides just to keep me in check of what I'm thinking about, talking about, and then at the end, any questions that you've sent or whatever, I'll get to them and answer them. So get in the comment section and let me know any questions you want me to answer, but we'll just get into it. So first of all, the Crystal Palace win against, you had the 3-1 win against Crystal Palace last night. Very good performance. I thought we played very good attacking wise, closing down, in control. The thing I really did like, obviously I always want Cole Palmer in the side for Chelsea, but I did like the three-man midfield with Enzo, Andre Santos and Caicedo. It felt like we was a little bit more in control at times, which was good for my brain. The game just before it, can't remember who we played, but it was a bit of a basketball game. This game felt a little bit more in control. Annoying that we conceded it, but another set piece, but I'm not going to focus on that because it was a little bit one of them. The player went down just in front of Sanchez. It isn't great that we keep conceding set pieces, but we brought off some players early, and I like that. I like that Rossini was thinking, well, we've got Napoli with 3-0 up. They're down to 10 men. Let's bring off some key players. So he brought off Reece James. He brought off Caicedo, Estavão, and I was happy that I wasn't feeling like stressed the last few minutes, thinking Caicedo's going to go down injured. I tweeted about it. I want some changes, and then Caicedo got fouled by Wharton, and I was thinking, oh my god, bring him off. Hi Mark, thank you for the comment. But yeah, I was happy that Rossini brought him off, and another win. It's not. I'm not saying we're playing fantastically at the moment, but the most important is getting them 3 points, the win, move on to the next one. As we was talking about Chelsea's clean sheet record of 15 last night with Arsenal conceding the 15th, 16th and goals, or 14th, 15th, 16th goals. It got me thinking about the Chelsea side in 2004-05 and how sometimes we played some rubbish football, but the 1-0 wins, don't care. Once you're getting them wins and you're getting further up the table, nobody remembers the performances when you win long term over a season. So I'm happy with the win. Let's move on to the next one, and the next one is the Napoli fixture. On Wednesday, we need to ideally win to get the top 8, and then we don't have to play them 2 playoff matches. I'd ideally not want to play them at 2 playoff matches. We've got Carabao Cup matches that a lot of teams aren't playing in. We've got still in the FA Cup. Yes, it's great to have more games and we've got a squad for it, but I think we ideally wouldn't want to be in the playoffs. Ideally top 8, and then we have 2 less games. We can focus on the Premier League a little bit more, have a little bit of a rest in between them games, because it'll be needed to have a little bit of a break. But I've done a little slide of what I think I'd pick. As I've mentioned just before, I think I'll play a 3 again with Caicedo, Andre Santos and Fernández. If Cole Palmer's fit, he comes back into the side, and because I've picked a 3, I've gone with Palmer on the left. Estavão, I've put I put Palmer on the right, Estavão on the left. You could put Neto because he'd probably track back a little bit better, but I just liked how Napoli, I don't expect them to cause us, well, under Conte, I expect we could we could hit them on the break a little bit. Maybe they will sit back a little bit, but I think Estavão, that goal that he scored yesterday, if we could get somebody like him on the break, he could do really well for us. So I'm thinking that, but if you don't like that, then Neto comes in. Wouldn't be too upset about Neto starting the game. I think we need to keep it solid, and then we've got the players in the attacking positions that could score a goal if we get a chance. I've gone with Fofana and Chalobah at centre back. I think everybody else picks itself, to be honest. Get in the comment section and let me know, who do you pick out of this 11. We'll read them all out at the end. Wouldn't say it. I'll read them out now, actually. Wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of Racine yet. Still has a lot to prove, but the fact that he's trusting Santos and giving him game time is very encouraging. It's one of them with Racine. I know managers, fans will all have their opinions of who we should hire, but I try and clean slate at me as a Chelsea fan. Even when I've had managers like Mourinho go, who else left that I was really unhappy about? Ancelotti, Frank Lampard, Di Matteo I was a little bit unhappy with, but when the new manager comes in, I wasn't happy when Rafa Benitez came in, actually. So this is not true. But I tried to keep it a bit of a clean slate and give the manager like a, right, show me what you can do. This is Chelsea, forget what you did at the other club or whatever, because we've seen managers come here with really good track records and then not do well. So I try and clean slate it, give them a chance, and he's doing all right. He's not perfect, but we're playing nearly every 3 days. We have a match, then we have a recovery session the day after. Then the players have like 1-2 days max training, and then they're into another game, and it's very short turnaround. So the fact that we're winning, we're not playing perfectly, but we're still looking half decent at times. I know we've been a bit clumsy at times, but I think there's positive signs there, and that's why I don't really want to play them playoffs matches, as well as I think a full week of training could be really beneficial for these players to just lock into what Racine fully wants, and he can't say it all in 2 days sessions. Next comment is, Paddy Shield seems to make at least one major mistake every game. I agree, sadly. I don't like to criticise too many players. I've in the past been critical of Sanchez. I've been critical of a few players, but Mudryk a few times. But I try not to be critical. But Paddy Shield does. Sometimes it just feels like it's a bit of confidence. But this is the thing that I said when I did my thread with Racine before he got hired. That Racine's tactics. He does accept that mistakes will happen, and it gives the defenders that freedom to try and do things, because if they do a pass that cuts through the lines or brings the players into a pressing them, and it opens up space in front of them, that's why he wants his defenders and goalkeeper to try a bit of risk. So it's not great at times when you make a mistake and then you concede, but I think it's a bit of Racine's tactics. But I do agree, Paddy Shield is a bit clumsy at times. Hopefully, now he's back fit, hopefully he starts getting minutes if he's trusted, and then he can prove himself. But it's going to be interesting. I'll talk further on about transfer window and whatever further on in the video, but it will be interesting to see what happens with these centre-backs, because it seems to be a real good talking topic. So let me know in the comment section as I get to the end. Get in the comment section and let me know which centre-backs would you keep this transfer window, which one would you sell, which one would you loan, because now we've recalled Hans Lamino, potentially going to recall Sarr. Which centre-backs would you keep? Obviously, Disasi probably, but who else would you keep, would you get rid of? Sanchez came to his rescue at this time. Surely he needs replacing and moved on to another club. I think for Badiashile, it probably would be a good ideal time to leave, but it's one of them. What club would take him when he's not really had much game time for going on a year now? Injury prone a little bit, so it's going to be hard to get a move. And now, if you're talking about a loan, you probably have to do it in England because you don't really want to take up an international loan slot, and then the market to try and sell him. Who's going to spend the money? What we probably want to break even. I'm not too sure. I prefer Neto to Palmer. Palmer is not that much fit for the bench. Palmer is enough. Yeah, yeah. It's just the brilliance of Cole Palmer. If a chance comes to a Chelsea player right now, I'd back Cole Palmer out of all of them to finish it. If you know what I mean, that killer instinct that he showed in the Club World Cup final. I don't think there was anybody else in the squad at that time that could. You was confident that he would score them type of chances. I'd worry about starting a Starver in two in a row. Don't want to burn him out. Yeah, I hear it. I'm probably just thinking about the pace. It could easily be an impact play and you play Pedro Neto, to be honest. I thought having a little bit of killer instinct. The thing that I worry about Pedro Neto is a little bit wasteful in front of goal, and if we get a chance, we want to finish it. So anyway, I'm going to move on from this and move on to the next one. But let me know in the comment section also what your score predictions are for the Chelsea-Napoli game. I'll see who gets it correct. So now I just want to talk about returning loanees. So Anselmino's just recalled. He's played 10 games. These are all his minutes. He got a goal, assist, and 3 clean sheets. And then I've put a little bit of if it was a success or not. Green, obviously, was a success. Orange, unsure. Red, no. So I put Anselmino as an orange just because his injury just kept slowing him down. Went there, got injured, got his debut, did really well, got himself an assist. And then I think 2 games later he got injured. He was out for a long while. Then he came back, played 2 games, got injured again. So he's not really had many games. So I can't say it was a success when he played. Did really well, but to go through half a season, we're now back end in January and he's played 10 games. I can't really call it a massive success, even though I thought he did well when he got the game time. Then we got Datro Fofana. I've put as a green because he went there, bottom of the league. He's playing for a team that's bottom of the league and he got himself 8 goals and he was starting a lot of the times. So he's been recalled as well as Anselmino. So that opens up 2 international loan slots. We're allowed to send out 6 and we've just recalled them 2. So I expect Datro Fofana gets sold. I expect Anselmino will go to Strasbourg on loan. We'll see. And then I think Sarr will come back. Then Teddy Sharman Lowe. He got recalled from Bolton. Had a really good first half of the season. Started to lose his place a little bit. Jorgensen got injured. And Selena wasn't in the matchday squad and he was actually on the bench at the weekend. So I'm not too sure how long Selena's out. Is he going to go and get sold, loaned? And is he been recalled? Teddy Sharman Lowe been recalled for that so he can be the 3rd choice goalkeeper for us. Then we got Castledine, had a really good loan. 12 goals, 5 assists. Playing most of the time. And now he got recalled and then he got sold to Middlesbrough, who was 2nd in the Championship. So he jumped up a league and he's jumped up to a side that's chasing to get into the Premier League. So a very good loan for him. I'm happy that the club did that. They loaned him out, let him get his confidence, let him show what he could do, and then everybody's a winner. We've got a sell-on clause and he's progressed his career because if we sold him, we probably would have had to sold him to a League One side and then he would have had to stay in League One all season this season probably. So it's a good move. Then we've got David Washington, rubbish loan, joined them, and then 1 minute, I'm just going to have a drink. Joined Santos at the start of this year. January last year, and then weeks later they signed Neymar. So your game time and your chances just drops then anyway, doesn't it? Obviously they don't play exactly the same position, but when Neymar gets signed, he's going to always play. So Washington's minutes drop somehow because somebody else, just a knock-on effect. Whoever was going to be the main man was going to drop down a little bit, and then the next guy. So rubbish loan. 6 starts over a whole year. It's going to be interesting what we do next with him. We spent 17-ish million on him, and 2.5 years later, 3 years, we're still struggling to get him senior minutes. So it's not the greatest. Caleb Wiley's come back again. Went to Strasbourg on loan last year. Came back in January because he kept getting injured. Went to Watford. Did half decent last season for the half of the season, from January to the end of the season. Went to Watford again this season and got injured again. Been injured most of the season, so he's been recalled. It'll be interesting to see if he's back fit in time to go out on loan in January, or he's going to stay around, play with the under-21s. I'm not too sure. Can't see him pushing his way past Hato. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. Probably go out on loan again, but he'll have to go out on loan in England. I don't think they want to use an international loan slot on him. Then we've got Mark Gu. I can't say that it was a success. Can't say it was a failure. Start playing, played in the League Cup and the Carabao Cup, got himself a goal. Then was recalled because we had an injury to Delap. Now Delap's back fit. Not too sure how many minutes he gets. So it's going to be a hard one for him for the second half of the season. If we keep our players fit, then we've got Keanu Dyer, terrible loan. Delayed because he hadn't signed his new contract, which I understand his contract were expiring the end of this year, end of this season. So he signed his contract just before deadline, and then he got this move. So it was a very late deal. Playing catch up because he had no pre-season with his side, playing in a different country, blah blah blah, and didn't get the chance playing for a side that was fighting relegation. Even when they was losing all the time, he was never getting brought on. We got 1 minute 3 times, and then he played like 23 minutes the other time. So it was a rubbish loan. Next, we go to the loan stats. So I just wanted to show you where we're up to. Sapiev is not technically on loan, and Quenda isn't technically on loan, and Amiga, but I put them on here because I keep track of them. So he's got 16 goals. Sapiev, his season's technically over for him. His season was started, it's like a year one instead of a season, and it finishes in May. His season is actually about to start in, I think it's the start of February, or no, start of April. So pre-season will be starting. I think he's injured. He missed out in the Champions League. Hopefully he'll be back fit for match day 8, but I'm not too sure if he will be. Be a bit of a shame that he's not played in the Champions League 7 and 8 because of injury. But yeah, Quenda injured at the moment. He's been around Cobham, I think, the last few weeks, getting recovered, getting a bit used to stuff while he was injured. Hopefully he can go back to Sporting and do well. Jimmy J Morgan's done well, been playing all the time. Amiga got quite a few goals and assists to say. He's not played much. Now we'll talk about a few players that are out on loan. We haven't got a massive list like normal. I've usually got 30-40 players to keep track of, and it's very easy at the moment to track of all the Chelsea players who are out on loan. Brody Hughes not playing. Went to Wimbledon. I expect they've probably got a clause to make it a permanent. His contract's expiring at the end of the season, I believe. So I expect he'll be either joining, but well, I wouldn't be expecting Wimbledon to make it a permanent if he's not playing at all or getting even in the matchday squad. So it'll be interesting if Chelsea recall him and see if we can get him somewhere else, at least where he can have 6 months of playing and show what he can do before a permanent move. Ishi Samuel Smith, he went to Strasbourg, didn't he? And then Chelsea pulled him and actually said we're not selling him. it was a bit of a weird one. We sold him to Strasbourg, and then we said actually he's unhappy or homesick, whatever we'll recall him, and we sent him out on loan to Swansea. And from the second he went to Swansea, I was a bit uncertain about that one, to be honest. I was happy that we still had him under our books because I think he's still a really good player, but we loaned him to a side that basically one of the best players for Swansea is the left back. So it was always a massive uphill task, and he was joining very late on. He's had some cup matches and done well. He's got injured at the moment, so he's out for a few weeks. So that's why he's not playing. I would be interested if we're going to recall him. Probably not, because he's now been at Strasbourg, he's now been at Swansea. I'm not too sure if he's allowed to go to another club as well as Chelsea. So it'll be interesting. This graph is wrong. I'm just looking at it. Jimmy J. Morgan is on loan at Strasbourg, but we're allowed maximum of 3 loan players at Strasbourg. We've got Paez, Sarr, Penders at the moment, and then we were allowed 6 international loan slots, and we've got 4 at the moment: Paez, Sarr, Penders, Jackson. We had Anselmino and that Fofana out on loan as well. So we've got 2 international loan slots. Who will that be? I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, this is the Loanees. Paez isn't playing enough. I'm not saying that's a success when he's gone out on loan and he's only started 7 games and he's still not even got over 800 minutes, like 8 games worth of 8 games worth of minutes over half a season isn't the greatest for somebody that we spent a lot of money and have got a lot of confidence in, and sending him to a side that our owners are kind of in control of us as well. You'd expect him to get more game time than that. Then there's Sarr. He's done well when he's played. He's had a few injuries himself. Went to the African Cup of Nations as a bit of a backup, I would say, to Koulibaly. Koulibaly got himself suspended. Sarr came in for a few games, 2 games I think, and then he started in the final and did really well in the final. So he's coming back. The only thing why it's not a success is just because of his injuries, but he's doing well, and I think Chelsea will recall him because Rossini knows him. He knows he can come straight into the side, slot into the left centre back type of role. He plays across the back line. He's played in a lot of roles: right centre back, left centre back, centre back under Rossini, so he can fill in a lot. And then I think Anselmino will go to them, and then he can continue in his journey. Penders having a really good loan. He's definitely not had 278 starts. He's had 28 starts. I've made a mistake there again. Jackson, not a good loan. To go to Bayern Munich with a player that we were starting every week and happy with, months just before the season ended, and then for him to have 6 starts, sent out on loan, is his stocks risen or dropped? And I would say dropped. Now only played 553 minutes, taking up an international loan slot. They're not going to buy him. They're definitely not going to pay the money that we wanted. But I knew before we confirmed it that they would never pay the money. They're only loaning him because they haven't got money, so they're not going to pay the money. Kellerman, he's getting good game time. He's still getting a few injuries, but it's good after a full season to see him getting senior football. And he's definitely not had 78 subs. That's another mistake from me. It should say 8. God. And then Ronnie Stutter not playing as well as Brody Hughes. Should probably be recalled. Teddy Curd went on loan November time, doing well. He's not had 124 appearances. He's had 14 appearances. So there's another mistake. This is why you shouldn't rush your graphics. But yeah. Future moves: Max Merrick, Teddy Sharman loan, or Gaga Salino. One of these could potentially go out on loan. Don't think we need all these goalkeepers around. One of them needs to be around for the third choice goalkeeper, one of them needs to be around. I understand Max Merritt being around because it's a third choice goalkeeper for the Champions League, because Selena would take up into the A squad. He can. I've also noticed a mistake there. I've put no, it's all right. It's actually spelled right. No, but yeah, Max Merritt can be picked in the B squad. Gasolina have to be picked in the A squad, and if he's not playing, you don't want to take up a slot. So maybe Selena goes out on loan. He got recorded last January, so he's not played for a full year now. So for his career, he probably needs to go and start playing. I put Josh Achimpong because if we sign a centre back like they're trying to do, then maybe he goes get some minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if a last minute offer comes in from somebody like Crystal Palace to go out and play a lot of minutes on loan in Crystal Palace, and Chelsea say, yeah, that could be a good move. We will see. Elise, contract expiring at the summer. Maybe we do a deal where he goes somewhere on loan, but an option to buy in a few clauses just so we get a bit of money back. And Slamino, he's been recalled, but maybe he goes back out on loan. If he doesn't go to Strasbourg, I don't think we'll use an international loan slot. I think we'll try and get him in the Championship, maybe the Premier League if we can, ideally. But it's who needs a defender? Maybe Crystal Palace, to be honest. Antwi got linked with Strasbourg. He's ready for the next move. Very, very good, very capable right full back. But when we've got Gusto, Achimpong, James, he's not really going to get a chance at right back, is he? This season, definitely not. So, signed a new contract to expect they'll be looking at options if that's permanent or to go out on loan. It depends on what the options are and what he feels like his chances are here, and does he feel like it's worth going out on loan, or does he just want to jump ship now and just get his settings set at a new club instead of feeling like I'm going for 6 months and I'm coming back and I still don't know if I'm going to play. And then we've got Disassi. I think we should sell him, but we should have sold him in the summer, but the offers didn't come where we was all happy. He could have gone to France, but Chelsea wasn't happy to loan him, and the offer wasn't good enough. And then he turned down Premier League clubs. It'd be interesting to see what happens with him in the last 7 days. We've got transfer window closes in 7 days, so when I do my stream next week, we'll be talking about the deadline and what if any of these players have gone. But Disassi ideally needs to move because his future's not here. He's at an age where he needs to play. We know that. He knows that. And when we're going to be buying more centre-backs and it's uncertain, the other centre-backs that have been playing ahead of him, he's not going to just jump ahead of so many people. Caden Wilson just signed his new deal. Could go out on loan. He's been playing a lot for the under-21s. Really good. Murray Campbell the same. Could go out on loan. Ready for the next step. Same as Emanalo. Ready for the next step. Wiley just recalled. If he's fit, he could go out on loan or be sold. Dario Sugio injured now. I put that on the list and just remembered that he's injured. He won't be going out on loan. Raksaki, contract expiring in the summer. Maybe we do the same what I've just spoke about with other players. Let him go out on loan in with clauses and hope we get some money back when they make it a permanent. Keanu Dyer, he could potentially go out on loan again, but we need to make sure it's a good move because he's been out on loan to Volendam and not played. So the worst thing we could do is send him out on loan and him not play again. So we need to make this move the correct one, or we might as well just keep him with the under-21s for the second half of the season. Maybe train with the first team a little bit and then go out on loan next season when he's fully fit and we can make a really good move where he's got a pre-season with that next side, then rushing with a week left of the window to another club where he's playing catch-up, trying to get into things. Frankie Runham, I think he could potentially leave in the next few days. Harrison McMahon, he could leave. Cardoso expiring, I think, in the summer, so Same again with him. Jacquet, he done really well the first half of the season. Maybe it's ready for a loan. Jimmy Tureen signed a new deal in the summer. Been injured a lot. Not probably at an age now where he needs to just go and play. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a move before the end of the window. Atawampa, same. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a move, loan or permanent. Put Mudryk there with a star. If he's not banned, then some deal needs to be happen because he needs to go and get some minutes, and I don't think he'll get it here regular this season. So I think he needs to just go to a side that can play him every week until the end of the season. But we'll see if he's back. Raheem Sterling needs to go. We know that. Tariq George, I think he needs to just leave on loan or permanent. Not getting in the matchday squads even when we're a bit thin in time. So I think it's time he goes in, kicks on with his career, whatever route that is. Dejan Richards was injured all last season, came back, played the first half of the season for has played the under 21s, been in and out of it, trying to get himself back fully fit. I'm not too sure if he's injured at the moment. He's not played the last few games, but that could be a potential Loanees. Shimureka, ready for a championship move, loan, senior football. Just be interesting to see if Chelsea can keep hold of him or he's getting a bit uncertain about his future. We've got Mark Gu that's come recalled and getting game time ahead of him. We've got Amiga joining in the summer. We've got Sapiev joining in the summer. We've got Quenda joining in the summer. What does Shim feel like his chances are here? Not too sure. We're getting linked with more attacking players. I shouldn't laugh, but it's a laugh of the club being the way they are. They're always looking to buy other players. Dacho Vervana really should be permanent. If we do loan him, it should be to England, so we're not using an international loan slot. We sent him out on loan to Burnley in the previous, and he did okay. So, at worst case, loan to the Premier League. Then we've got David Washington needs to go get senior football. If that's a permanent deal and we cut our losses, is on loan, but I won't be using an international loan slot, so it'd have to be Championship, Premier League, or sit around playing the under-21s. But I think the other players are kicking on in the careers that his chances for under-21s, he's past that stage now. He needs to play other types of football at the price that we paid. He needs to be kicking on. Then transfers. We've got... Sorry, my brain went blank then. We've got Douglas Luiz. We've been linked to a midfielder because Lavia injury just keeps getting knocked back, doesn't it? I think we've all kind of accepted, as sad as it is, that we can't trust Lavia at the moment to be fit, so we do need somebody to cover. Andre Santos has luckily helped us this season. We've actually had him around. Glad that we kept 5 midfielders around, to be honest, because of Lavia. Asujio, we thought he'd actually cover, and he's sadly been injured. So been linked to potentially loaning Douglas Luiz. And when it came out, the news, I was questioning it because I was like, what about Asujio? Because I thought he was only ill, personally. I thought he was only ill. He was on the bench. Rossini was saying he was close to being fit, and then a lot of players got ill, and I thought, oh, he's just ill, he'll be back. And then, no, he's out for a month. Lavia's out until, who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if it's kicks on until, who knows? I'm not going to speculate because I don't know. But yeah, so Douglas Luiz, I'm now happy with it. I'm happy with a loan. Means in the summer we can make a decision what we do with midfielders if he does well. And Lavia can't keep himself fit, then we have to make a decision on Lavia, don't we, and him as well. So I'm open to it. There's N'Golo Kante getting linked to Fenerbahce, and I'm kind of looking at that and thinking I would happily take Kante back. Is that my rose-tinted glasses of Kante being here years and years ago when, well, it wasn't that long ago, but is my rose-tinted glasses just because of that and me thinking I want Kante back because of what he can do? But the things that Kante could do, it could be really good. The only thing that I'm worried about is what does that mean for André Santos's minutes? Because I am a big fan of André Santos. And when you get Kante, the marquee signing of André Kante, N'Golo Kante, he probably gets minutes. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Let me know in the comment section what midfielder would you get? Who else has been linked? I can't remember the third player that got linked, but I think I'm happy with the two, Douglas Luiz and N'Golo Kante, to the end of the season, depending on who we sign. I won't be that bothered. Then there's Jérémy Jacquet. Don't know too much about him, I'll be honest. Well, I do now because I've been looking and around, but watched him once against Strasbourg when I was watching Strasbourg versus them. I didn't pay much attention, so I can't even say I've passed the eye test and remember. I don't remember much about it because I don't remember much. And I wasn't focusing on him. I was focusing on Penders and Sat at the time. I don't think Payet was starting, so I didn't focus on him. The thing that I worry about with buying him is what does that mean for Josh Achimpong and what does his camp feel about that? I know there's minutes in a Premier League season or in a Chelsea season for everybody to play, but when Chelsea spend that type of money, you're going to be playing him or trying to play him a lot. And then it's going to be very hard to then convince other players behind them that they're also going to play a lot. They play some, but not a lot. Levi Colwill comes back and I think he's nailed into the side. Then you've got players like Fofana, Chalobah, Disasi, Badiashile. Hato could potentially play there, Tosin. There's Anslamine or the Sarr. So it's very hard to then say to a centre-back of Achimpong's potential quality, you're going to get loads of game time. So it's going to be interesting to see what the centre-back position will look like after this window and what it will look like after the summer. I know we will say sell X, sell Y, sell Z, but we're still stuck here with Disasi still in our squad, in our club, Sterling still in the club, Badiashile's still here, Fofana's still here, Chalobah's still here. They wanted to sell Chalobah. Tosin's still here. So it's very hard to know because you need good offers. You need the players to be accepting of going to these clubs like in the past. Chalobah wasn't happy about leaving. He wanted to stay and fight for his players. Like Disasi didn't want to leave. He wanted to go to back to France. So sometimes these deals, what we think, sell him and whatever, sometimes don't happen because of that. So it's going to be interesting in the next 7 days what we can do because we're now on the 26th of January. No news on Raheem Sterling going. No news on Disasi going. No news on a lot of these Loanees players that I've just said on the last slide. So there's a lot of work to be done. And that's going to be the same in the summer. There's going to be a lot of players that need to be sold. And I wouldn't be surprised if we're going into the last week of the summer window like it was last in the summer when I was saying we had to do 20 or 30 deals in 7 days, like 3 deals a day or something stupid like that. Wouldn't be surprised if it's just the same because no clubs are going to pay big money for them when we've got so many to sell because they know we need to sell loads of players. They know we need to loan players. So they'll just wait till the back end when we drop our price. They know they'll ask at the start of the window, how much do you want for him? And we'll say X amount. And then they will say, no. Then they'll come back 3 weeks later, how much do you want for him? It would have dropped 10 million. How much do you want for him? And it dropped another 5 million. They'll just wait till the back end of the window, right to the end of the few days when we've got like 6, well more than that, players still needing to be sold, loaned, and they'll say, Can we loan him? No, we haven't got any international loan slots. We've already used it for this player and this player and this player, and we'll sell him. No, and we'll be having players, bomb squad, under 21s again. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to quickly read some comments and then I'll just talk about the football kit. So I worry about. No, I've read that one. How will Strasbourg take on Smith on loan? I think they have maximum of non-EUs and the players squad. Maybe. Yeah, that's the thing. That is it. I think Paez is coming back. I think Paez is coming back. It's just trying to sort out another loan, and it's in England. There's a few offers on the table. I think they're just trying to weigh it up because, as I said, with who did I say that we've recalled? Keanu Dyer. When you recall somebody and he's not played, when you want to send him out on loan again, you want to make sure this second half of the season works out and it's not another season of not playing because he's playing catch up again, isn't he? Whoever he goes to out on loan in January in England, it's a different style of football. He's not played with his players, blah, blah, blah. And if it's the Championship, they play every 3 days. So it's very hard to get that rhythm, get that training to be a success. So I expect Paez is going to be recalled. And then that opens up the slot for Anselmino. It's just trying to get that perfect Paez switch. And then if we get the switch for Paez, then I think the other ones will fall into place. Gui should be on loan, but because we're already using Sunderland cameo as well. Yeah, it is. Urka should be getting those minutes. Maybe he goes on loan second half of the season. He should be getting them minutes, but I've got to a point where I know kind of not how things work, but I've seen it all happen before. When you get bought and you've got transfers, prices on players' heads, and some players have signed this player and some directors signed this player. Players just get chances ahead of other players that are probably warranting it, and it's sadly Chelsea are always looking out than in. So I wouldn't be surprised if next summer Gui's forgotten about, like Washington, like Datro Fofana, Sapiev gets a chance, and Milka gets even further down the list. So yeah, we don't need another midfielder in my option. Certainly not one that we can't get in the Forest team. I don't think he's going to get. Yeah, I hear you on that, but when we played Palace, we had Noah Sujo and Lavia on the bench, and we had no bench option with Andre, Caicedo and Fernandez in the side. So if Palmer gets a bit of a knock and Enzo Fernández now has to play a bit further forward because we've got no Facundo Bernarte, then we're struggling for midfielder options. And if Caicedo, Andre Santos or Fernandez get a suspension, then we're going to be screwed. Andre Santos and Fernandez are 1 yellow card away from a suspension in the Champions League. So if they pick up a yellow card on Wednesday, they'll be suspended for the playoff match if we get through, or the next round. And then you've got no midfielders on the bench if one of them's suspended and the other two play. So it's one of them where I think we do need a midfielder. I would like us to look in and go for somebody like Reggie Walsh, but I can't see it happening. So I'm open to it. Because the last thing I want to see happen is somebody suspended. One of them 3 midfielders get injured, and then we're down to the bare bones. We're playing Reece James in centre midfield. We're playing Gusto at right back. It's not the end of the world, but I think I'd rather get another player in it, at least with a loan. Somebody like Douglas Luiz. If he doesn't play, he doesn't play. Just like he doesn't play at Nottingham Forest. It's not our problem if we're not getting a obligation to buy. We get him on loan, and he don't play. Yeah, we have too many players to clear out. I agree. I remember, what was it, 2 summers ago? everybody was saying, "Oh yeah, we need a clear out." We had a clear out, and then we just flooded it again, didn't we? Was it after the first season? Wasn't it? We had 40 players plus in our first team squad. We had to make a little extra room for the training grounds for them all to fit in, and then we cleared out quite a lot. The Koulibalis, Mendes, players like that, and then we just flooded it again. And we're here again. Anyway, I'll move on. And last of all, we've got the Chelsea kit that's been leaked. This is from Footy Headlines. This isn't an absolute locked in, but this is a mock-up of what it could look like. It's blue. It's blue. It's blue. It's got yellow on it and a white collar. Very plain. I like my kits, my home kits plain, if you know what I mean. I don't like too many designs on it. The away kit, the third kit, go crazy, go do what you want to do, but keep it blue, keep it plain, keep it simple. And I do like the colour yellow on a Chelsea kit. Not too sure on the new crest instead of the normal one, but I'm intrigued to see what that yellow little bit is up at the top left and top corners, near the collar. If it's yellow, if it's white, I wouldn't mind a little bit of yellow or white on the sleeves or something. Does look okay. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you think Josh could be convinced to stay as a right back given James is being deployed in centre midfield more regularly? He could. I definitely think he could. I definitely think the club do not want him to go. I definitely think that. It's just at the same time the club need to give him game time, don't they? He did start playing a lot, and I'm not going to complain. The last few weeks he's been playing, so there isn't no complaints. But we made changes in the Crystal Palace match, and James came off, and Fofana went right back. And James James didn't come off. James went into midfield, so that was the chance of Acheampong playing right back, and they picked Fofana, who probably would rather, from his injury history, should probably be rested fully and then be ready for the Napoli game than playing 10 minutes. But so it could easily be convinced. It's just hard. Gusto has been playing a bit further forward at times, but I just think it's hard to see him getting enough minutes. For Josh to have a successful season, he needs to do better than he did last season minutes wise. And he's a good run in the side. He played in some really hard fixtures. He played against Bournemouth. He played against City. Played against players like Semenyo, Jacquet, and did well. So it'll be interesting because he played on the right, didn't he? I think he could easily play there. It's just if an offer comes in on loan where he's like at Crystal Palace playing right centre back, and then they push players over to the left centre back to fill in Guéhi's hole that he's just left from leaving, then it could be a really good loan. Like that's what I think could be really good if we could get him out on loan and playing. Again, we're supposedly linked to buying Senesi as well, potentially as centre back. If we got Senesi and they needed a centre back, they had Huijsen did really well with him. Josh Acheampong reminds me of a player just ready to just blow up if he gets the minutes, like Huijsen did. If he got from now to the end of the season playing regularly in the Premier League at somewhere like Bournemouth, Crystal Palace on loan, the fan base, the owners, hopefully, would look at him completely different and go, why do we need to go and spend 50 million? 60 million. Clear it out. Right, we've got Jacquet, Acheampong, we've got Colwell. So anyway, I'm going to stop going on about Acheampong because I don't want to scaremonger everyone. I am a little bit worried about his future in the summer. We will see what happens with transfers, but until then, we will see. Next, Like the Kit reminds me of that FA Cup tribute we did a while back. Yeah, it does remind me of that. I really like that kit. I really like that kit. The blackout kit, wasn't it? It was like the Fly Emirates was the. It wasn't Fly Emirates, was it? God, what was it? Oh my god, I can't even remember what our sponsor was. It wasn't 3, was it? It was the one before 3. You remember what the sponsor was for the Chelsea kit for that season when it was blacked out? I'll probably have to Google that because it's going to do me head in. 2 seconds. Yokohama. I don't know why I went with Fly Emirates. That was well before it. Yeah, Yokohama. It was a really good kit. Yeah, the yellow, the crest is reminding me of that, and a bit of the yellow colour, and there's nothing on that one on the side. So yeah, maybe it's that. It's about it's the 1970s kit, I believe, that we're trying to replicate. So I like it. I like it. Yokohama. Thanks. Thank you for correcting me before I should have even needed to Google it. I should have known. Quickly before we finish, I will just go to Twitter and see if anybody's asked any questions. Do you see Sterling going, and where to? Who's interested? Do I see Sterling going? Yes, definitely. It has to happen. But saying that, could we wait until the summer? Because no, he's got to go. I don't have too much information on anything about Raheem Sterling. I know some Turkish clubs and Napoli was interested. Napoli could pay the wages. Napoli, we play them on Wednesday. Maybe a deal gets agreed when all our sporting directors, etc., owners are potentially at the game. They talk after it about Raheem Sterling and send him on loan. Hopefully they can cover half his wages and take him off us permanently. Raheem Sterling and Lukaku in the same side. What midfielders and number 10 wingers are we looking for? Any possible of a January transfer move? Midfielders, we're looking at central midfielders. Anderson from Nottingham Forest. I believe we're looking at Wharton. We're looking at a player that can really push the midfielders. They believe Andre Santos is good enough, but they want really high quality midfielders, so I wouldn't be surprised if we go for their wingers. I don't know of any players at the moment. I think the list is long, and we're trying to just weigh it up. I don't think we'll buy any in January, unless we buy a midfielder, central midfielder. I don't see it unless the opportunity is now. But the type of quality that we want for midfield, I don't think it'll be available in January, because whoever we're looking for will be a starter for this side. Sharp. Not sure what I said. Okay. So there we have it. I've done my live stream. it's been about 5 months since I did a video, so it has been a long time, but I'm going to try and do one every week, just so we can, so I can talk about stuff and I don't drag it on. I always felt like I didn't have much to talk about, or I was too late, if you know what I mean. Like when Chelsea are on, I'm either out or I've got my son with me, so I haven't got the time to just jump on a stream and react. And sometimes I don't want to react with my head a bit in an angry mode, if you know what I mean. I don't want to be the ranter saying this is shit, this is blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I try and have like a bit of a sleep on it. So that's why I'm thinking every Monday I do it, because if we played on the weekend and we have lost, at least I've had a bit of time to process it and come with a bit of a cooler head, even if I'm still angry. But yeah, I didn't want to jump on streams and start mouthing off that this is bad, because I know them type of streams do frustrate fans, and I just want to be genuine. So yeah, I'm going to try and do streams every week, or videos every week now. I put it off because I felt a bit uncomfortable doing them, but I've got a bit more confident. I've been doing an FPL channel as well, and I've got a little bit more confident behind the screen. So hopefully over the next few months, my content will get better. This is my first video in a very long time on Chelsea One. Hopefully you liked it. Hit that like and subscribe button. The target is to get 500 subscribers before the end of the season. I'm close to 500 now, but we will see. I'm just going to carry on doing my thing. If you like it, great. Hit that like button. I really appreciate it. It'll help me go in the algorithm. If you watched it all the way through, thank you very much. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you think I need to improve on. Your lineup for the Chelsea match. Any comments that you want to get in, if you're watching this after, get in the comment section. I'll reply to everybody. And yeah, anybody that gets in the comment section, I will reply to you all after this stream's finished and give you a bit of my thoughts on it if I've not answered it properly in the stream. I don't think there's anything else to say. Unless you want to quickly fire in a question and I'll answer it before I finish. Thanks, Mark, for being around and staying around. Appreciate it. Been here right from the start, haven't you? Hope it's been enjoyable. Don't even know how long I've been streaming for. It's got to be 30 minutes of me waffling on now. Where are we up to? Oh, God, an hour. God, I'm talking too long, aren't I? Yeah. Right, I'm going to finish. I will see you next week. Let me know in the comment section what topics you want me to talk about next week. We'll have a transfer. It'll be the transfer deadline day, so I'll get another stream out next Monday. But if you want any other talking topics, you want me to go into detail about a certain player, what I feel about a certain player, get in the comment section. I'll try and do a section on that type of that player. You guys that are in the comment section, let me know. You're the guys that are going to kind of help me decide what I talk about, because I want you guys to enjoy it as I'm talking. But yeah, this is me, Scott, Carefree Youth, as you know me on Twitter probably. And yeah, I'm just trying to get better at this kind of stuff, so hopefully I can start improving and giving you better content. I will start improving the graphics and whatever over the next few weeks, months. But yeah, signing off. I will see you on the next one.